Hi, I'm Susan Keefe from Rhubarb Cod, and today I'm making Blistered Shishito mac and cheese. We have officially entered comfort food season, and for my money, there's no food more comforting than mac and cheese. Now there seems to be as many twists to this classic as there are people on this planet, and yes, I'm about to add this Blistered Shishito mac and cheese to that overwhelming pile. But within this somewhat offbeat dish, you can find a solid recipe for the classics, onto which you can add just about anything your heart desires. So even if you're not a Shishito fan, stick around, there's still plenty here for you to chew over. This mac and cheese is a stovetop version because that's my preference. I just find it silkier than the baked versions. However, this recipe makes enough sauce that you could bake it in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes and it wouldn't come out dry and pasty. If you are planning to bake this recipe, you don't have to toast your panko breadcrumbs. The oven will do that for you. I just like to sprinkle my stovetop mac and cheese with them for a little extra crunch. We're going to start by turning on the broiler. We want it good and hot before we introduce it to the shishito peppers. While the broiler is heating up, pour half a cup of panko breadcrumbs into a dry skillet and place it over medium heat. Toast the crumbs until golden, shaking the pan frequently. Once the crumbs are an even amber color, transfer them to a bowl and add a teaspoon of melted butter and a pinch of salt. Toss to coat and set it aside. Wipe out the skillet you used to toast the breadcrumbs and add 185 grams of shishito peppers. Now a note for the heat averse. While most shishito peppers are generally mild with a smoky flavor, about 1 in 10 packs a punch. And there's no way to recognize these atomic interlopers just by looking at them. So if you're sensitive to heat, just be aware there may be a few surprises. If, however, you are a seasoned heat fiend, I wouldn't worry about it. In my opinion, even the hottest shishito peppers are not that bad. Once the peppers are in the pan, pop them under the broiler and blister them. This could take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on the strength of your broiler. Just remember to check in on them and shake the pan every so often. Just remember to check in and shake the pan every so often. Ooh, yeah. There's another sentence. I'll do it again, okay? Just remember to check on them and shake the pan every so often. You will hear loud popping noises coming from the oven, but don't be alarmed. That's totally normal. While you're waiting for your peppers to blister, grate 200 grams of fontina cheese and 200 grams of old cheddar. I like using cheddar for its sharpness and fontina for its meltability, but this is totally a choose-your-own-adventure scenario. You can use any cheese your heart desires, but I do recommend choosing one for creaminess and one for flavor. It's good to have all your cheese bases covered. By now, your peppers should have a good blister on them. Take them out of the oven and transfer them to a food processor. Leave the broiler on and reserve the skillet. We're not done with them yet. Blitz the peppers until they resemble mulch. Transfer them to a bowl and set them aside. Now it's time to bring the mac into this. Place a large pot of water over high heat and bring to a boil. While you're waiting for the water to boil, you can get started on the cheese sauce, and that starts with a roux. Melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in a large deep skillet. Add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and whisk to form a roux. Whisk in half a cup of dry white wine, followed by 1.5 cups of 2% milk. Add the milk in splashes and fully integrate each addition before adding more. This will ensure that your sauce comes out lump-free. Once the milk is in, add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard and half a teaspoon of salt. Simmer the sauce to thicken. Your water should be boiling by now. Liberally salt the water and add a pound of dried macaroni. Cook according to the package's directions. This should be somewhere in the ballpark of 7 to 9 minutes. While the pasta is cooking, pour 50 grams of shishito peppers in the reserve skillet and pop them under the broiler. Again, how long this takes depends on your broiler. Check in on the peppers every so often and give the pan a shake. Add the cheeses to the simmering sauce and stir until melted. Finally, add the shishito puree from earlier and stir until thoroughly integrated. Give the sauce a taste and season with additional salt if needed. Once the pasta is al dente, drain it and add it to the sauce. Stir until thoroughly coated. If the dish looks a little soupy at this point, don't worry. The extra starch from the pasta will give the sauce the body it needs to coat every noodle. When the peppers are good and blistered, you're ready to serve. Spoon the mac and cheese into bowls and top with a few blistered shishito peppers and the toasted panko breadcrumbs. Serve immediately. And there you go, Blistered Shishito mac and cheese, a smoky, umami-rich take on a childhood classic. I hope you give this one a go, and if you do give it a shot, let me know how it went in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel. I post a new recipe every week and a ton of goodies along the way. Thank you for cooking with me. I'll see you all next time.